What's the worst crime you've committed? I taped football games without the express written consent of the NFL. Roger Goodall has entered the chat. The one that still haunts me. Once I took $20 out of my mum's wallet. When I looked in there she had $100s of dollars, so I didn't think it would be noticed. Only when I was slightly older did I realize that my parents were pretty poor and my mum would withdraw a certain amount of cash each week and budget it correctly to make sure we had enough food, etc. A family of 6 with only one income, and I stole what I now realize was actually quite a large amount of money to them at the time. I still feel really shit about it. It's okay, man. We all make mistakes and you didn't know any better. I knew that I was stealing, but only when I was older did I understand the ramifications. I didn't realize that money was scarce and hard earned. Since it is past the statute of limitations, when I was a teenager, I ran into someone's shed who stole weed from me. That was where they slept, and I knew that they were not home. I pissed on their bed, broke a lamp, and stole a coat. First time in my life ever did anything stupid like that. Last time I ever will. How was the coat? Too small to fit, and not my style. Arson. Me and my friend were playing stupid games with fireworks, and it resulted in some poor guy's fishing shed getting burned to the ground. I cringefully regret it, and the only solace I take is that no one got physically hurt. I learned that the guy's insurance covered the building and everything in it, but I have never forgiven myself for making that guy cry over his stuff, and for making the firefighters get called out for stupid shit on New Year's. I was a suspect for an arson in my town. Didn't do it though. What's funny is that earlier that day me and a few friends actually roamed in that same abandoned building and did some stupid shit close by, like started a fire outside with a few stolen pallets and broke a big window of a defunct small convenience store. I regret it now, but boy was it exciting to hide from potential law enforcement being a stupid drunk teenager. When I was little, there used to be this thing called BMI in Columbia House. They advertised in magazines like send in 1 penny and you get 7 CDs. After that, you have to buy 3 CDs at regular price. We would tape the penny to the postcard, then get our 7 CDs, then ignore all letters to buy the 3. Once my brother and I maximumed out our names, we started to use our pets' names, then use the names of people we knew. My entire music collection in the 90s came about this way. When I was a kid, I've done some serious shit, but thinking about this, we could have been charged with mail fraud, federal offense, closed bracket comma, identity theft, and all grand larceny. This is how you stole music before torrents. This was the grand hustle of the ages right here. Stole a speed hump sign and hung it above my bed. I used to be classy like that. Why you advertising that? I ripped a stop sign, pole and all, out of the ground and presented it to my parents on Christmas morning as a gift. When I was about 12 I responded to a comic book ad to sell greeting cards. They sent me boxes of samples. Lazy me didn't bother trying to sell after the second no. It was summer. Who the heck wanted cards? I never heard from the company again. So when the holidays got close I went around the neighborhood selling the samples. Sold them all. Still kinda feel guilty about that. I did use the money to buy Christmas gifts for others, if that helps. Stole a car once as a teenager. Didn't take anything from it, smash it up, or sell it. Just a joyride with some friends. Drove it around a few blocks and abandoned it. We got caught a couple weeks later thanks to teenagers not being able to keep their mouths shut, of course. Did a month in Juve. Shitty times. My buddy stole his dad's truck at 12. Drove out of state. Got arrested and asked if he could go to jail because his dad would kill him. But when your dad is a cop they believe him, and he beat the shit out of him so bad he ended up in the hospital. I stole a balloon on Free Balloon Day. LMAO I caught on immediately. When I was a teenager, I stole a Mickey Mouse pacifier from the Mall of America with my friend. Why a pacifier as a teen? That's it. It was just a regular baby pacifier. I didn't do any drugs. The elementary school I went to was older. No cameras. No real security. The bathrooms had doors that led straight outside, and my friends and I found out that we could put something small between the door so that it wouldn't close and lock but looked closed. After school hours, we would sneak over and get into the school through there because the janitor never really checked the doors. We would go into the classrooms and rummage for candy and other stuff and just hang out sometimes. Later in life I realized how illegal that was. Whoops. In the late 90s I went to my high school a few times after hours, like 7 PM or so, and found the doors unlocked. There were probably a few janitors somewhere in the building. It was a one-story building with a lot of long corridors. So I rode my bike up and down the corridors. Suddenly these distances that took so long to traverse on foot became quite short. When I would just start to get up to speed, whizzing by the doors, and suddenly have to stop or turn. I bribed a customs official to let me take an antique out of his country. I scuttled a $20,000 boat that some rich kid owned, mainly because the fucker raped one of my friend's sister. Op asked about the worst crime, not the best one. I've done a lot. Shoplifting and stealing cars, and selling drugs, and selling people out. Because I was addicted to drugs. I think the worst thing I did was steal. In total over 3 months. Around $3,000 from my best friend's stepdad. We noticed one day that his account was always signed in. So we made a bank account and a texting app and starting sending ourselves money. It started as $20 to $40 a day, and then twice a day, and then $100 to get food and other things that we'd actually try to do, but it would just go to drugs. We got caught when the bank told him that an unusual amount of money was being sent to an unknown account, which was mine, hers and her boyfriend's at the time. She told him it was us. He went crazy. He hated me, which I completely understand. Soon after I got sober, I paid him back in any way I could until he told me to stop. I worked my way back. I wish I could take it all back, honestly. The addiction, the things I did, the way I treated people. I hated myself. I'm so happy I could get sober and try to make the things better that I did. Hopefully this isn't the worst, lol. Good for you. Not only cleaning yourself up, but for trying to do right for the people you wronged. Not a crime but biggest injustice. I got assaulted last Sunday. Bottled then kicked into by 3 guys at 10:30 in the morning whilst I was going to the shops. I was in hospital for 3 hours waiting to get my head glued, and the 3 boys were in and out of the police station in just under 2 hours. The police are threatening me with jail time if I don't go to court, and the boys are looking at a 60 fine. What bullshit. For an American English speaker, can you provide a bit more clarification/context? How are you looking at jail for being a victim, while the assailants are looking at a fine? I'm looking at jail if I don't go to court, and the attackers are looking at a small fine. Yes. Nice try, you/FBI. Not today. You/CIA. Go away. You/NSA. I had stolen 2 pencils from the classroom supplies when I was 10. I still feel guilty. Have a seat over here. I had a racist thought one time. Cancelled. What do you have against races? Weakling. I don't like the cigarettes. There. I said it. When I was 8, my older sister, she was 9 at the time, broke into the neighbor's house because we wanted to pet their dog, but had been told not to talk to strangers. Neighbors came home. While we were there, we hid under the bed. Sister lost her shoe under there. Yes, it was found. Mother was beyond pissed. We got grounded for months. Dang, y'all are hardcore criminals. Never returned the movie Balto to Blockbuster. That's why they went out of business. You happy now? When I was 6 or 7, I shoplifted a bottle of hand sanitizer from a display shelf in an Office Maximum. I stood on some gram butt with a keep off sign on once. Off the grams Budbert Simpson. I sold old school RuneScape gold for real life money. How's the weather in Venezuela? I live in the United States. It was to pay off college debts. When the war came, I did bad things. But after the war I thought nothing of doing bad things. I killed people, smuggled people, sold people. After you walk into a village and you see 50 children, all sitting neatly in a row, against a church wall, each with their throats cut and their hands chopped off, you realize that the creature that could do this doesn't have a soul. So, how's it going? I downloaded a car Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm that guy that downloaded a car and fucked it up for everyone else. I removed the tag from someone else's mattress. Felt good, man. No regrets. Those tags just aren't supposed to be removed by the retailer. It's basically just to prove that the mattress is new. Yeah, clearly a federal agent trying to trap us. Considering the fine of court, using the hot lane when it was just me driving. I accidentally kicked my dog in my sleep. I accidentally had the US terrorist watch chain activated because of something stupid. Trespassing. I once skated the hallways of a shopping mall after hours. Got chased. I also once stood a nearly finished mansion. The construction crew had left it unlocked. I tested out all the elaborate showers. The water heater wasn't hooked up yet, so it was pretty brisk, and then wandered around imagining what to do with so many rooms. Declaring this shall be the library. This shall be my sewing room. This room shall contain my scrimshaw. This one will house my portrait of immortality. This one, and so on. I doxed the high school rapist and exposed him on social media, along with exposing a few of his victims. They weren't happy about it, since they wanted to come forward in their own time. But several girls met me later on to say that they had been about to go camping / to watch a movie or other compromising activities with him, and that they had reconsidered thanks to my posts. So yeah, I don't regret it. I don't agree with outing the victims, because that to me feels like it can cause even more trauma, and that alone can be considered doxing. Yeah, I mean, it was hard to do, but I figured I'd rather stop this guy from raping new girls rather than worry about how his previous victims feel. Definitely a shitty thing to do, but if that's what it takes, IDC. I've pirated the entirety of The Sims for a good 9 times, because I can't figure out how to download the repacks to just get the updates I need. Comcast keeps noticing. Lol. But last time they sent an email about it at like 3 AM saying someone pirated the game at 10 AM. Besides the fact that it was at 11 PM. I'm not sure how they knew at 3 AM I was pirating it 7 hours later? Question mark. Also, fucking Comcast won't even give you a second. The last time I pirated it, it was just seeding in my torrent thing. Apparently the 1 second it was there before I deleted it was highly illegal, since everyone else is giving dumb butt joke answers. I also shoplifted a rubber stamp from a craft store when I was a toddler. Mate, if you keep getting letters, you need to change where you are downloading from. I have gotten 1 letter in my torrenting career, and in my defense, I wasn't actually the person to download that item, and I have downloaded, well, let's say more than one thing over the years. Games, movies, TV shows, few books. Check comments for people saying they got letters, check posters for reputability, and don't attack new posts unless it is on a trusted site and from a trusted poster! Exclamation mark. Once when I was a teenager, I was at the local mosque when I saw a stack of nice calendars for the new year. They were sitting on the same table that the free brochures / pamphlets were on, as well as free snacks. I took one. Later that day, when my uncle came by our house, he asked how I got one. I said I took it, since it was free. He laughed and said no, they are $12 each. He then said, don't worry about it. So, accidentally stealing from a place of worship lol. When I was like 11, my mother would take me to work with her at a small TV station overnight. There's a lot to unpack in that alone. I know. Close bracket. I would get bored. Naturally, so I'd go to the vending machines. My arms were thin though, and I was bendy enough that I could reach up into the machine and knock snacks loose. So many snacks. I ate fries with mustard instead of ketchup. Try mayo, it's great, but unfortunately you go to hell for it. I'm driving the bus. Hop on. Drunk driving. I said all the slurs. My home taping killed music. I'm so sorry. Metallica is gonna be pissed. Black shoes with white socks. Got a speeding ticket. So probably that. Otherwise stealing food from Walmart because duck 'em. I stole 4 bags of chips and 1 apple in a day. BCS, I was left out to house since morning. I've overwritten an old VHS tape with my dad's favorite Dragon Ball episodes. took a car from a huge dealership lot and crashed it a couple of times. One of those times being into one of the other dealership cars. Put the car back after the joyride with a couple scratches and dents. I smuggled an apple from the UK to the US. I had grabbed it at breakfast before we left the hotel in London, in case I got hungry before the flight, then stuck it in my bag and promptly forgot about it. After we landed in San Francisco, the customs agent asked if we had any produce. So like an idiot I said, oh yeah, I have that apple. I spent 2 or 3 full minutes looking for it without success before the customs agent apparently came to the conclusion that I wasn't the head of an international fruit running cartel. This was before 9/11 and waved us on. I found the apple the next day when we got around to unpacking and promptly ate the evidence. I crossed the street on red when no cars were around. Thank you for watching. We hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe for more videos.